Hare Krishna. Omagyantimirandhasya jnananjanasalakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami iti namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarini. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Once again, I welcome all of you to our weekly online class. So this week, Tuesday, I couldn't take the class because of the Bhagavad Saptah. So we are discussing second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And right now we are in a section. It is known as the symptoms of a self-realized person. So this is the theme we are discussing since last few classes. Today's sloka is very interesting sloka. Here in this sloka, Lord Krishna is giving an analogy to explain how a self-realized person is undisturbed in all the situations of his life. It's no matter whatever happens to his life, he is undisturbed. He is peaceful. So, very nice analogy. Let's try to recite the sloka and then we'll understand the meaning of the sloka. Okay. Yes. 2.70. The sloka actually. Apurymanam achala pratistham samudra apaha pravishanti yadva tadvat kamayam pravishanti sarve sasantim apnoti na kama kami. So here Lord Krishna is telling Apuryamanam achala pratistham. So here Samudra apa pravishanti yadvat. Samudra means what? Ocean. Samudra, ocean. Okay. So in ocean, achala pratistham means the ocean is surrounded by a bank. Bank means the water can't go out of the ocean, right? It is a solid, immovable banks so that the water remain inside the ocean. Achala, the banks cannot move. It's very fixed. Apuryamana. Apuryamana means in rainy season, no matter how much it rains, apa pravishanti yadvat. Pravishanti means the water from the river that enter into the ocean. The rainy season, the water enter into the ocean, but the water doesn't spill over. The water remains in the ocean. Tadvat kama yam pravishanti sarve. In the same way, tadvat, in the same way, kama yam pravishanti sarve. Sometimes the material desire of enjoyment, kam vasana, the desire for enjoyment, that enters into sasantim apnoti na kama kami. To a self-realized person, to a person who is a self-realized person, sasantim apnoti, he is always in santi. That desire cannot disturb that person. But not kama kami. But if a person is not self-realized person, then what happens? He becomes agitated. He becomes disturbed. So simple thing here, Lord Krishna is telling. So there are two categories. One category is a self-realized person. Another category is a struggling devotee. The person who is a pure devotee, sometimes he also get a desire to enjoy because the mind is there. Mind is a product of material asset. So mind has always some kind of desire. It will come, a thought. Now to act on that thought, it is your dependency, how you are taking care of that thought. But thoughts will keep on coming. You can't close thoughts to enter in your mind. The thought will enter, but whether you want to act upon that thought, it is up to you. So when enjoyment thoughts are coming, a self-realized person is very peaceful. He is not disturbed. He is very peaceful. But a non-devotee, but a sadhaka, he get agitated and he become very disturbed with this kind of thought. And that's how so many thoughts of some people comes and tells, Prabhuji, I am frustrated in life. Then why you are frustrated in life? The main point is that the frustration comes because he has lost so many thoughts in his mind and he wanted to fulfill all that thoughts. Now, it's not possible, right? You may get so many thoughts, you may have so many desires, but in this small, tiny life of a human being of 50, 60, 70 years, we have a limited resource, we have a limited time, we have a limited energy. How can we fulfill all the desire? It's not at all possible. Now, if that person is caught up with that desire, that anyhow, I have this 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, I have a thought, I have a desire, I want to fulfill, then he will become miserable. Sometimes that example comes now, when a bird fly very easily in the sky, and then a fish, the fish is from the water. Oh my God, just see the bird, how nicely the bird is flying in the sky. I should now from tomorrow, I'll go to gym and I build up my muscles, my fins. I'll make it very strong. And then I also try to fly in the sky. I'll also fly. No matter whatever the fish does, she cannot fly in the sky because the body is not meant for flying. And for the whole life, he may do some kind of practice, gym, exercise, and he will die. But he cannot fly because that is not meant for him. Sometime, my dear friends, similar kind of desire we also imbibe. I want to get that. And no matter whatever you do in your life, that is not meant for you. You can't get that. And then people become unfulfilled desire and they become frustrated in their life and they commit some kind of a negative thing in their life. All these things happen. So that's what Krishna is telling. See, it is not in our control. That the same topic we were discussing in the previous class also. One Mataji was asking in the Hindi class that, Prabhuji, she was working in one company in Mumbai, and she thought that I want to go out of Mumbai. She was totally frustrated in Mumbai. So then she gave interview and she switched to another company, and the job location is a different place. But to her surprise, after working for 2-3 months, the company again relocated her to Mumbai. That too, to the place where the previous company was there, near that place only. And she was surprised and she was asking, Prabhuji, is it the destiny that I have to stay here at this place for this month, this many year or what? Again, I came to this place only. Yes, sometimes the destiny has its way and we can't change the destiny. But I'm not telling that we can't put your effort. We should try always to do our best. But in spite of putting your effort so much, if the destiny is taking you to some way, then accept that with a grateful heart that this is the desire of Lord. Then you will be always in peaceful. Otherwise, the whole life will go in struggle, unfulfilled desire, frustration, anxiety, and the life will be miserable. Because things are not in our control. Often people think that I can control everything. I have crores of rupees, I have a big bank balance, I am a CEO of a company. Everything happens as for my wish in the company. When I enter, people do salute, salam. So I can control my life. No, Baba, you can't control your life. Life is beyond your control. So when you accept that we are a small, insignificant living entity before Lord, then it resolves a lot of issues of life. That's what Krishna is telling. That when a person understands this concept, he will be always happy. So that's what the analogy Krishna gives here the best analogy. Here you can see that Apuryamanam achalam pratishtam. Krishna is telling Samudra apam pravishanti yadvat. So when the rivers are entering into the ocean, no matter how much it ranges, it doesn't happen that this month, this year, it was very much, the rain was too much. So the ocean doesn't flood and the water doesn't come out. No matter how much it rains, no matter how many rivers enter into the ocean, the water of the ocean remain inside the ocean. Unless until it's a cyclone or something else. But because of the rainy season, the water doesn't spill away. Why? Because the ocean is very, very deep. But if it's a small puddle or a pond, if it's a heavy rain, then the water will spill away. But it doesn't happen with the ocean. Why? Because it is very deep. And the depth is very much. Similarly, in our spiritual practice, when we are in deep and connected with God, at that time, the river will enter, the turmoil will enter, the friends will give some anxiety, and your relatives may also give some anxiety. And so many people they give so many anxiety in your life, but that won't disturb you. Why? Because you are deeply connected. Otherwise, how can it be possible? And Kunti Maharani in Bhagavatam, when Krishna was leaving Hastinapur and Krishna was going to Dwarka, Krishna was telling, Are, 16,108 queens are waiting for me in Dwarka. And since so many months I am staying with you all, Pandavas, come on, let me go to my home. So after the Mahabharata war, Krishna mounted his chariot and he was about to leave. And Kunti Maharani was offering such beautiful, nice prayer that, my Lord, you are leaving us. Kunti is telling that when there were so many calamities in our life, you were with us. Whenever there is difficulty. Now Yudhishthira was the king of whole earth planet. And now there is no difficulties. Yudhishthira is the king of the whole earth planet. And we all are happy. So now in the happy moment you are living. So when we are in anxiety, you are with us. And when I am happy, you are living. So then better let the anxiety be always with us, so that we will get your association. That was the prayer of Kunti Maharani. We can't imagine what is praying. Vipada Santu, let the calamities come to my life. Let the problems, let the issue, let all the problems come to my life. Why? Because whenever there is a problem, you are with us. I need your association. I want to see you always. That was the Kunti Maharani. Can you imagine the exalted position of Kunti Maharani? How can this simple lady can pray like this? Why? Because she is deeply connected with God. That the depth of her spiritual practice is very deep, very deep. Because of that, all this external turmoil, all this Draupadi, disrobing of Draupadi, killing or poisoning Bhima, or burning the Lakshagraha, all these things is not troubling her. Why? Because she's connected with Krishna. All these material things are not troubling. That is what here it is explained, that somebody is practicing spirituality, then all these material things will not trouble him. So I remember one pastime, Prabhupada's pastime. So Prabhupada was working that time as a pharmacist in Prayagraj, and he was a grahastha, and he was around 50, but he wanted to start this preaching mission, and he wanted to renounce the grahastha ashram, and he wanted to enter into the vanaprastha sannyas, and he wanted to start this preaching mission. That desire he had, but somehow that he was not able to take the step. It's not a small step. You have to renounce everything and you have to start something. So he was thinking to and fro, should I do or not? And one day, he has a big pharmacist company and a big godown. And somebody told him that your godown has caught fire And immediately he ran to his Godown, to his shop, and he saw that the whole Godown filled with all the material things, everything burning into ashes in front of his own eye. He's standing, and then some people were throwing water, and some were telling that, "Arey, call the fire brigade. What you are standing and looking? Do something. What you are observing?" And he was laughing. He was laughing. People thought he got mad. He got a shock and he got mad now. And he was laughing, and he was laughing. And he was seeing that how everything burnt into ashes in few minutes. Then he laughed, and then he was writing in his diaries that I wanted to renounce to everything, and I wanted to take to sannyas ashram, but somehow or other I was not getting the guts to take this step. But Krishna helped me now to take a step. So that is how sometimes, somebody wants to do something, but he has a little fear. And from the back, the parents, the father or mother comes and he push, and they jump and they do that act. He need a little help, little push, so that the person does that. So like Prabhupada is writing, I wanted to take Vanaprastha and Sannyas ashram, but I was not getting that guts to take the step because I was thinking, how will I do? But when this situation came and everything burned down into ashes, and there was not a single penny, I was totally penniless. And then I thought, now nothing is there in my life. Better now, let's take sannyas, and whatever desire I had, let me practice. And that's how he became a strong conviction, and he took sannyas, and that's how the future history. He started fully preach Krishna consciousness, and that's how the Iskcon movement started. The desires may come to him so Prabhupada is writing, desires may come to him like the waters of the river that flow into the ocean, but he is steady in his activities, and he is not even slightly disturbed by desire for sense gratification. So somebody is practicing spirituality, it's not that he will not get sense gratification desire. Desire may come, but he will not act upon those desires. Why? Because he is strongly connected with Krishna. Once Prabhupada was there in the US, and one reporter asked Prabhupada, Swamiji, what miracle you do? Because there are a lot of Babas, they do a lot of miracles. Some Baba, they can generate ashes from their hand. Some can generate gold. Some can do some miracle. Some can cure some disease. So this journalist also got curious that Swamiji has come from India. He must have some miracle. So he asked, Prabhupada, what miracle you can do? Come on, tell me. So Prabhupada became very silent. And then Prabhupada tells them, I can walk over a room filled with naked women, and I won't get disturbed. And the journalist become taken away. Naked what? That means what he's telling, it's not just something theory. Really, he mean it. Such spiritual, connected he was with God, that he has such confidence that nothing will happen in spite of such a sense gratification environment, because I am thoroughly connected and my mind, my senses are in my control. And then Prabhupada tells, this is the biggest challenge and it is the most difficult thing to do. He tells to the journalist. Even big magicians, big yogis, they fall down, Prabhupada tells. So that is how, even though there are sense gratification things are there, the self-realized person, the pure devotee, it doesn't get agitated. Why? Because he's very deeply connected with God. Just like an ocean, he is deeply connected with the God. That is what Prabhupada is explaining here. And that's what if you see here in this sloka. This is a picture we have taken from Govardhan Eco Village. If you remember, this is the Sayadri mountain range, from where the Kohoch mountain you can see in the Govardhan Eco Village. So in the rainy season, the cloud touches this mountain. So the analogy comes that no matter how much thunder strike, the rain storm strikes the mountain is undisturbed because it is strongly rooted and it is immovable. Nothing can shake the mountain. Otherwise, if a small uh, hill or a small plant or something, then it get powdered with a thunder strike. But if it's a mountain, and then in spite of repeated striking of the rain, the thunder is a strong mountain, nothing can move the mountain. And especially if it's a rain, and no matter how much it rains, it cannot harm the mountain. On top of that, the mountain get washed up and the mountain sparkles, right? It shine like anything, the mountain. And that's how the sadhu, they they always get connected with God and nothing can shake the sadhu. And it remain always peaceful in all the situations of the life. And that is what the Krishna is telling here in this sloka. But the person in Krishna consciousness is happy in the service of Lord and he has no desire to be fulfilled. In fact, it doesn't even desire liberation for so-called material bundle. So why is not disturbed? Because he has got something higher in his life. That's how he's not looking for the lower thing. So the famous analogy I always give, that if some person is eating sukdi and he will give gulab jamun, he will throw the sukdi and he will eat the gulab jamun. Why? Because the taste of gulab jamun is very higher taste. So if he's eating gulab jamun, again he will give sukdi. Beta sukdi lo. He will say, Pagal ho ke main kha raha hu gulab jamun, why are you giving me sukdi? Take your sukdi. He will not get attracted to the sukdi. Similarly, when you are practicing devotional service, it gives a higher taste. So the material sense gratification, the material attraction, that category is belong to the lower taste. And that will never affect you, that will never attract you. Why? Because you are already connected to a higher taste. That is the dynamics what Prabhupada is telling here, Krishna is explaining. And the devotee of Krishna has no material desire. And top of that, a devotee of Krishna, na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, he doesn't have any other material desire. He has only one desire, what? Just to please Krishna, to serve Krishna, to make Krishna happy. So he has this desire. Because of having this pure desire, no matter what kind of other things comes, he doesn't get attracted to that kind of things. And that is what Prabhupada is explaining here. Very important sloka, this sloka, where it is explaining that in the rainy season, apuryamanam achara pratishtam samudram apa pravishanti yadvat. So in the ocean, when the water is entering, no matter how much water enter into the ocean, the water of the ocean doesn't come out. Similarly, for a devotee, no matter how many sense gratification thought that enter into the mind and try to agitate that devotee, but he doesn't get agitated. Why? Because he is very deeply connected with Krishna. So many yogis, Haridas Thakur, you are chanting every day 192 rounds of Hare Krishna. Means 22 hours he is to chant, 2 hours is to sleep. Haridas Thakur. He can't dream also. He's Haridas Thakur. So to test him, the Maya Devi herself come just to test Haridas Thakur. But can you imagine, the Maya Devi herself comes to test Haridas Thakur. How much beautiful the Maya Devi. With her speck of a dust, the world becomes so beautiful. The Maya personified Devi, she comes to attract Haridas Thakur. But Haridas Thakur was not at all agitated. He was fixed in chanting Hare Krishna. This is the example of a person who is deeply connected with Krishna. Tadvat kamayam pravishanti sarve sasantim apnoti. So many desire may enter, but he is always connected with Krishna. He is not at all agitated with Krishna. Na kama kami. But if a person is not devotee, the person is non-devotee, for him it's a big challenge. For non-devotee person, he will be succumb to all this kind of a desire. This is the difference between a devotee and a non-devotee. Non-devotee Sarvari Muni, and when he was practicing meditation under a water, he just saw two fishes are uniting each other. Just by seeing two fishes, he got a sex desire, and he goes to Mandhata king and he married the 15 daughters of the Mandhata. That is how a non-devotee gets succumbed to the lower desire. But here I told the example of Haridas Thakur. He was young Haridas Thakur doing meditation, chanting Hare Krishna, and Maya Devi is coming and proposing that I want to unite with you, my dear Haridas. Please accept my proposal. Maya Devi, how much beautiful she is. But Haridas Thakur tells her, oh, my dear lady, please sit here. I have to finish my 192 rounds. After that, I will fulfill your desire. And in this way, 1, 2, 3 days goes. And in third days, and all this time, the Maya Devi is hearing all the chanting of mantrana. Her heart only transforms. And at the end of the third day, she tells that, oh Haridas, please forgive me. Actually, I came to allure you. And please forgive me. And I want to take initiation from you. And that's how Maya Devi got initiated from Haridas Thakur. Maya Devi, Bhakti Mage Ithe Ki Vishmaya. Krishna Bhakta, Krishna Kripa, Bhakti Vina Maya, and Bhakti Na Chan Maya. So that is the difference between a devotee and a non-devotee. Devotees, they are very deep in their practice. Because of that, they do not get attracted to the material desire and they don't get fallen down. That is the very hope in Krishna consciousness. We all can become very serious in our practices, in our chanting, in our reading of Bhagavatam, in our worship, so that we can be protected from the attacks of the material energy. So that is the main lesson we can learn from today's sloka. With the analogy, we can always remember ocean. No matter how many rivers are entering into the ocean water doesn't come. Why? Because it is very deep. Similarly, we have to also become very deep in our spiritual practice, not just a superficial practice. I'm a devotee, I'm chanting, I'm reading. We have to go really deep and deep and deep into our practice. And bhakti is a matter of your attitude, a matter of your intention, it's a matter of your feeling of your heart. It's not an external thing to show, but it is an internal thing. So we have to go very deep in our practices so that the challenges of material world, we can tolerate it and we can continue it. Hare Krishna. With this, I want to end today's talk. So you all can share your realizations, your comment, or if anybody have any questions, please feel free to ask your questions. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. The self-realization really means something really serious stuff, I mean, it is not something, it's not so easy.
Yes, Sarajji, please.
Can you hear me? So self-realization is a really serious,
Yes.
it's not, takes a long time, right?
Yes. Nothing is easy in this world.
Something wrong with the sound, and I think. Can you hear me?
Yes, Sarajji, please say.
Yeah. So self-realization, I mean, I understand it's a very, very deep topic. But how long this thing? It's something that must take a long time, right? This is very, to reach that kind of stage is not so easy, But it is a very, very, very heartwarming topic, but it's not so easy. Not so easy.
Yes. Not so easy. It's not so easy, but it's not impossible. It's not impossible.
It takes time and effort.
And in bhakti, Lord Chaitanya tells in Chaitanya Charitamrita one very important thing, that a dwarf, small dwarf-heighted people. So if a dwarf tries to catch moon, what is the possibility? It's an analogy, poetic analogy. If a dwarf tries to catch a moon, what is the possibility? Impossible, it cannot catch. But the dwarf can catch moon also by mercy of God. The God wants, the God can lift the dwarf and he can catch the moon also.
That is true.
So in bhakti, the good thing in bhakti is that we don't depend on our endeavor.
Correct.
We depend on the mercy of God.
Yes. Yeah.
The difference between bhakti and a yogi is that yogi depends on their endeavor. They do austerity in the Himalaya, they do the practices, they depend on their endeavor and they get that result. But in bhakti, in the first day only, we are like surrender to Krishna, we pray to Krishna, and that's how bhakti becomes very easy. And if the thing is that people, if we are sincere, then bhakti works very quick.
Yeah, let the God decide. Leave it to God.
Yeah. Because God sees us, right? God is seeing us. And if we are sincere in our heart and we are offering our heartfelt prayers and we are sincere, genuinely, if you want to practice, then God is there to help us, right? God is there in Paramatma in our heart. For what? For helping us.
Yeah.
And if you are sincere, why you will not help? You will help. Because of that only is there. And that's how the bhakti is very practical. And sometimes I have seen people who have practiced bhakti the whole life, and apparently in the whole life, they have not seen such an advanced way. But while leaving their body, the time of death, they become so exalted in their spiritual practice. They chant nicely, they remember Krishna, they cry for Krishna, and in that stage, they leave their body. That means what? Krishna is reciprocating, right? Suddenly, how that realization comes? Because Krishna is giving his mercy. So at what point, at what stage of life, Krishna will give his mercy, that we can't say.
It's for him to decide.
That is, he can decide. He is the autocrat. He is the Malik. So that he will give. But I can give assurance that he will definitely raise. When, how, he is the master. He is the controller. So that, but at least from our side, we should very sincerely, very genuinely, we should cry. And we should sow to him, my Lord, I need your help. I am yours. I'm practicing. So from our side, we should try our best.
And one thing I would add was that I was very happy to see your 7-day Srimad Bhagavatam. It was a perfect timing in Purushottam Mass. I was not able to see it on the live. I was like maybe half an hour delay, but I was able to see all of them. And thank you very much for that. Yeah.
You heard all the 7 lectures?
Yeah, but I could not. I think the first day I had to go to the next day. But next day I saw both of them together. But then later on I was like a half an hour delay or 1 hour delay. I could not see the live all the time, you know.
Then it's okay, but you heard all the lectures.
1 to 7 in Purushottam Mass.
Jackpot. He's very clever.
It was very, it was very, I tell you, I was reading chapter 10 and Canto 10, and I knew that I could not finish in Purushottam Mass because I did only 24%. So I read a summary, and then I went to your Saptah, the 7 day, the Saptah thing. And then I finished it. I said, okay, I'll worry about the actual 10 later on, but let's do this thing first, you know. But Hare Krishna Prabhuji, it was very good. It was excellent presentation that you had. I don't have words to describe, you know.
Yeah. So for me also it was nourishing, because every day I was speaking Bhagavatam for 2 to 3 hours every day, from Canto 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 in a 7 day. So whole day I was just reading Bhagavatam, and evening I was speaking Bhagavatam, reading, speaking, reading, speaking. 7 it was like that.
And I was mentioning that, like working in a work environment is less difficult than this. What you just did 7 days. It's quite difficult, very difficult what you did in 7 days. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
It was difficult, it was hard, but it was very nourishing
Yeah,
to the heart. And there were so many people. They were around 300 to 400 people. They were every day.
Yeah,
it was like an yatra.
I saw in your hall. Yeah, it was very good, very good.
So many people, and every day it was while sleeping. It was night around 11:30, 12 every day. So, so many after katha, they used to take prasad like that.
So this is not in Mumbai. This is in your eco village, the one.
No, this is the Vada town. This is from in Mumbai, from Bhiwandi, you come, Vada comes.
That's how you're speaking from right now, right? Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
no, I am right now in the Govardhan Eco Village, but this is the Vada town. It is around 30 kilometers from Govardhan Eco Village.
Okay.
This is the town of this place, this area.
Okay. This
there
area.
I go every week for preaching.
Same place.
Yeah, so there we have a small center and congregation. So they told that Prabhuji, let's have a Bhagavad Saptah in Adhik Mas.
Yeah.
So then immediately we just take a call and started.
Describe in words. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Anybody have anything? Anybody have any comment or any questions? Tulika Mataji, Priyanka ji, Vishal, Manjari Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, this in this devotional practice, developing the higher taste, it can be the develop that it can be a desire, or it is an automatic process. That higher taste, it develops automatically, or it has to be a desire.
See, Prabhu, nothing happens automatically. First thing is that if you want to desire something, do something, then gradually with the time, automatically it happens. But the initiative you are taking, you have a desire for that, right? Then only you will do some things. Similarly, when a person has this strong desire of getting a higher taste in bhakti, so one acharya tells that, what is the cost for bhakti? What is the cost for bhakti? So he tells that laulyam ekam matra. Laulyam ekam. Laulyam means what? Strong desire. That is called laulyam in Sanskrit. So when you have a strong desire for something, you become mad to do anything for that. When you are having a strong desire to achieve something in your life, then you do anything for that. Similarly, when you have a strong desire to get Krishna prema, higher taste, then you become always mad to do something. Let me hear something, let me read something. If I have a free time, let me chant some more rounds. Let me do something more. Let me do more. Why? Because you have a strong desire to get that. And then when you continuously do that every day with every day, time, then what happens? Gradually, automatically, that desire, that higher taste reveals in your heart. But the desire should be there. Then only you will go in that direction. Otherwise, it's very tough to go in that direction. Desire is not there.
But Prabhuji, the very word desire is to serve the Lord, or is to achieve the higher taste. What is the desire for?
See, desire to serve and desire to getting higher taste is not, both are different. If you want to serve Lord, and if you don't have a taste for serving Lord, then that service will become burden. Getting the point?
But Prabhuji, as you just said, that a desire is it automatically, one should have a desire, then it happens automatically by the process of time. So if my desire is to serve the Lord, then automatically I will be developing a higher taste.
Yes.
So isn't it different? There's two desires.
See, both are not different, same only. You are serving, why? Because you have a taste, higher taste. You are eating gulab jamun, why? Because you have a taste for gulab jamun. That's why I'm eating gulab jamun. I don't like peda because I have a higher taste for gulab jamun. I have a taste for gulab jamun. I want to eat that.
But Prabhuji, I'm sorry. If suppose somebody from childhood has been taught that you are supposed to start your day with so and so activities, which is in the process to serve the Lord. So there, the question of having the higher taste is not important, because that's how he's been brought up. That's how he's been taught since childhood.
Yes,
So
I got the point. This is a matter of a duty. Sometimes it is told that whether you like or not, this is a duty, you should do this. Part of duty. That is also good. But higher than the duty is called love. Higher taste. Higher taste means prema, love. You are attracting to, you are getting some nourishment while doing that. Duty means whether you like or not, you do that because it's a duty. So that is also good. But beyond that is higher taste, love, where people can, and when that person has that love, he can do anything. He can do impossible thing also, because it doesn't go by duty. He goes by love. And for love, he can sacrifice also anything. That is how love is higher than the duty. So in the beginning time, it was taught, okay, whenever there is a temple, go, thoda matha tek ke aa jao, because it's a duty. Bhagavan, you have to show your gratitude to God. But that is not the limitation. You have to go beyond that, just like the gopis. They got an higher taste. And when Krishna was playing his flute in the middle of the night, they just left their home, their relationship, they sacrificed everything and just ran to Krishna. Can you imagine? Who can do that? It is beyond the duty. And they broke all the relationship. Why? Because they got a higher taste with the Krishna. And for that higher taste, they are ready to sacrifice all the lower relations. Similarly, so connection with Krishna become perfect, and it will go to the summit when we get that higher taste. Then only you can release like anything. Every moment of life will become something miracle, something new thing. And it is like an intoxication for you and for others also. People just by seeing you, they go, "Arey Baba, he have something, I think. Something is there in him." Automatically they get attracted to you because you have that higher taste. Like that.
So Prabhuji, that also, in other words, you are telling indirectly that if or not you don't come to a certain position in your life, in your very particular present life, let's say a brahmachari, or you are some into a parampara or a acharya, only then and then you can have a chance to develop higher taste. Being in a materialistic world in this very position, it's not possible.
Yeah, see, there are different levels are there. So it's like when you chant Hare Krishna, you will get benefited. Beneficial will come. But if you want to get perfection, if you want to really master the art and you want to get the result of that thing, there are different level of result, right? It's like you are searching something in the net and you are taking up a fever or chalo tara paracetamol kha lete. So it will act, you will get some result. But if you want to find out the best result and the best medicine, then you have to go to the expert doctor and you have to show yourself and you take the prescription and you eat it. Then you will get the best result of the best medicine. Similar in the spirituality, if you want to get the higher taste, the best result, and enter into Krishna's abode, Vrindavan, then it's not so easy. By our own effort, we can do that. For that, Krishna is himself is telling that you have to get connected to the parampara. And this parampara system, the disciplic system, is not a man-made. It is made by Krishna only. Krishna only started this parampara. And Krishna is because it's very rare thing, and the mercy comes through that. So when you are connected to any of things, that the current flows, the mercy flows, and you are in a proper guidance. And this system is made by Krishna only. Even Krishna, when came to this material world, he also accepted a diksha from Guru. Who was the Guru of Krishna? Krishna, when he comes to Mathura, then Vasudev, Devaki sent Krishna to Gurukul to learn.
Ujjain.
Ujjain, you know the place. Who was the Guru?
What a name.
Sandipani Muni.
Sandipani.
The Krishna also accepted Sandipani Muni as a guru. He was the God, right? What is the need for him a guru? But still Krishna is teaching us that you have to accept a guru proper, then only you can perfect it. Otherwise you are not accountable to anybody. मन मौजी, जैसे मन किया वैसे मैं करूंगा, आज मूड नहीं है बंद करो. But when you are accountable to Guru, you are under his subjugation. He will say, no, you do like this. This is not good for you. Then you have to do that. Okay. So similarly, that will help you in path of self-realization.
So, but then sometimes the Guru has the power to accelerate your progress also, right?
Yes.
I mean, by
has-
Guru's grace, so many times, like almost like miracles can happen, even if you don't deserve it at that stage. Or like sometimes you're not reached that stage of bhakti, but your Guru's love or can really make you progress and accelerate your spiritual progress fast sometimes, right?
Yes, it is mentioned in the scripture that when you accept a guru, spiritual authority, the first, because we have so many lifetimes of sin, we have the sinful baggage we have, and it become an obstacle in our spiritual practice. So when you got connected to a guru, pure devotee, and when the guru gives you diksha, that time all the karmic reactions are nullified. Means your slate is blank slate. Everything was eradicated. And Guru gives an opportunity to just now practice with full speed. Because that all the sin karmic reactions were acting as a baggage. You want to run, but there is a 20 kilo baggage in your back. You can't run, right? You have to go slow because all that karmic reaction is there. But Guru removes that and makes you free. On top of that, Guru gives you mercy, and Guru prays to Krishna that, my dear Lord, he has accepted my shelter. Please shower your mercy. And Guru is very close to God because he's very pure, very andar ka aadmi bolte hai na. Just like when you want to meet a minister, and if your connection with a secretary, there is a high chance that you can meet. Similarly, when you have a strong connection with the Guru, and when the Guru offers prayer to Lord, and Guru thinks about you, then automatically Krishna's mercy, Krishna's glance also falls on us. That's how we get lot of support system in our journey. Okay?
Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Tulika Mataji. Anything in your mind? Want to say? Hare Krishna.
Same question था प्रभु जी जो अंदर ने पूछा.
Okay.
I got the answer. Yeah.
Yes, nice. Tulika Mataji is practicing very sincerely, and this time she is she had planned to go, but somehow she's not able to go. But very soon she may get initiation because she is staying here, practicing 16th round, and very nicely dedicated.
I got a shelter, Prabhu.
Yes.
I got a shelter. His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj.
Really?
Yes.
When?
I think it's around a month.
So you got shelter there, huh?
And
So
Maharaj is coming. Maharaj is coming to Bombay also. Juhu. Hemru
So-
Prabhu Chaitanya helped me.
Very nice, very nice, very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. So, and Majai Parva Maharaj gives very quickly, means he doesn't make very late. So then nicely, very quickly make an initiation.
Please
Nice.
pray, Prabhu.